We're here this evening with David Michon, who has a profile on FindaGuitarTeacher.com. Welcome, David. Thanks for talking to us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's a real pleasure to be here with you. And can you tell us first where you teach? Where are you located geographically? What city and what state?
Yes, I live in Lynchburg, Virginia. So it's kind of towards the middle. It's right by a big university, Liberty University. And so I just recently graduated from college with a music degree. And so I'm still in town and decided I was going to open up my own studio.
Very cool. And what is the name of the studio?
It's called Michon Studios.
Michon Studios. Excellent. And do all your students come to you at Michon Studios, or do you ever travel to your students' homes?
I can travel to my students' home, but it is really easy if they come here. I have a piano in here and all my guitars and all the workbooks and everything. So it is easy if they just come here.
It is. You have all the equipment all set up just the way you like it there.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. What ages do you teach? Do you teach both children and adults?
I do. I generally would recommend for most people probably not to start their kids until around after 10. It is kind of hard for just their hands and their fingers to fit around a guitar most of the times unless they have a really little guitar. Um, but so I like to teach 10 and up, and then it doesn't really matter how old.
Excellent. And for your students who come to you with a age range, I know there's going to be a wide range of musical interests too, but are there any particular styles that you find students asking for a lot?
I find a lot of students just want to be able to play just really songs that they connect with, songs that they know. And so normally that's more contemporary things, unless it's, they really love the 80s music and so then they want to do a lot of 80s music and whatnot. So I'm pretty flexible with that.
Of course. And you yourself, what is your background in music with your own studies? Are there styles of music that you offer that perhaps students don't think of when they first come to you?
Yeah, I offer a lot of jazz influenced styles. I studied jazz throughout college. So just being able to sight read jazz charts and jump in any kind of band with those movable extended chords kind of really helps.
Of course. And so when students come to you, one of the things that you teach them is sight reading.
Yes, that is one of the things that I like to teach them. I like to teach them also a mix between that and playing by ear. I think it's great to have kind of both weapons at your arsenal so that you can read whatever's put in front of you, but you also can just hear something and be able to play it.
Of course. If I remember right from your website, you put a lot of emphasis on the versatility of a guitar player, that's something you like to see all your students doing is playing in a very versatile way. It sounds like that's what you're describing here.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it'll just really help round you out as a musician if you can be able to jump into different styles, um, and do things that maybe some people can't. You won't be limited in that way, and it'll give you the most options.
Of course. And can you tell us a little bit about your scheduling format? How often do you work with students?
I can basically work with students. Right now, I officially say Monday through Thursday and Sunday. But once I get a couple more students, I'll probably have to open up Friday and Saturday anyways for lessons. So it's basically you call and we set up a time with my availability and their preference.
And do you recommend to students to work with you once a week or maybe more often than that?
Yeah, I definitely think once a week is good. And I'm really specific on at least a practice regimen. Um, I find that a lot of students, when they first start guitar, what they end up doing is they go to a lesson, they sit through a lesson, and then they wait 5 or 6 days before they start practicing that one thing they're supposed to practice, and then they kind
Yes,
of forget everything. And then they also try to cram it all in, and they actually kind of hurt themselves trying to do that because their fingers and their muscles aren't ready for that. So I'm really big on once a week and making sure that you get a solid 15 to 20 minutes a day, and that's really all you really need to start building up those muscles.
I think that's true. That's something I say to my students as well is it doesn't need to be a long practice period each day,
Mhm.
but it really does need to be each day.
Yeah,
That day by day, the daily playing, it does accumulate, even if it's shorter practice times.
definitely. Yeah.
And how long are your lessons? Are they an hour long or a half hour long?
Yeah, I can do half hour or an hour long, and so for half an hour it's $15, and for an hour it's $30, and that way you have a big flexibility too. Some students cannot handle an hour, and some can definitely handle an hour. So that's one way to think about it. The other way is some people can't afford $30 a week, so therefore there's that $15 option. So it's kind of up to both those kind of issues what you're looking for.
Right. You weigh all those factors when
Mm-hmm.
you're
Yeah.
scheduling lessons with the student.
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit? One thing that has come out in many of these interviews that I've conducted is finding out how guitar teachers learned guitar. Uh, you mentioned on your website that you've done music all your life, but that you didn't come to the guitar until a bit later, in I think 2000, you said. What brought you to the guitar, and what interested you in the guitar?
Yeah, my dad bought me a guitar from a pawn shop back when I was like 9 years old, which is pretty awesome. And so it was just a little beat up guitar. And so I really had no clue what I was doing. But
Yes.
thankfully, YouTube had just gotten popular at the time. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and so a lot of people were posting just how to videos on YouTube. And through lots of years of doing that and playing with other musicians and then going to school and studying it, I feel like it's really rounded me out in a unique way, that I didn't only do the lesson side, that I'd also do a lot of self-exploring, but that I also have the lesson side as a backup kind of thing.
Yes. And what brought you into guitar teaching? You played guitar, you studied guitar. What made you decide to teach guitar?
Yeah, it started with my younger brother. He wanted to kind of learn how to play guitar, so we kind of always mess around and I would be showing him things, and I kind of realized that I like to show people, an easier way to do something, especially so many people find chords and they think that there's only one way to voice them, and so it's so fun to show them like, hey, here's a really cool voicing, and their face lights up and like, oh, it's that easy and simple, and it just sounds so much cleaner, and so that really sparked that interest. And then growing up, it was kind of like a nice side job to always have, to always
Cool.
fall back on.
Cool. And you say the side job, meaning teaching your brother, or did you actually teach other
I,
people?
I started teaching other students, and so that became like a good extra income to go along with my other job and going to school and everything.
That's awesome. How early did you start teaching guitar, say, beside your brother?
I was 16, and I'm 22 now, so the math,
Yes.
8 years ago.
That's wonderful, and that you got started in the teaching. Obviously, it was something that you connected with right away.
Mhm.
Well, I notice you have a guitar with you. Would it be possible for you to play a segment of a song, or whatever comes to mind? Say, if you were sitting down at home with the guitar, what would be pleasing to play? It's wonderful to get a taste of guitar teachers' guitar playing during these interviews.
Yeah. Here, I'll turn the camera a little bit so the viewers can see a little bit.
Please, that's great.
But yeah, sometimes I'll just fiddle with different chord voicings and stuff. And so this is an example of if I'm just sitting around, sometimes I'll maybe do something like jazz. So like sometimes I like to do different songs with the melodies and the chords and that.
Yes.
Sometimes I just turn on the TV and whatever you hear, you try to match it. Try to do like little solos or something during it. So
That's very cool. And the second tune you played when you said would do some jazz stuff, I couldn't quite place the tune. Which song was that?
that was "I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas."
Oh, of course. And
Yeah.
and what struck me in the chords is you were strumming the chords, but you could hear the melody come through in the chords, and I found that that's always something that will make students' eyes light up too when they realize you can strum chords, and within the chords you can find the melody. Is that something
Oh yeah.
you do in your own teaching?
Yes, definitely. Especially because some students come in and they really like to sing, and a lot of students come in and they just don't have any interest in singing. They've been told they're not a good singer, and I think they could still learn how to sing, but it really excites them when they could play songs that people can recognize, but they don't have to sing. You know.
Right. Have you found with any students that by doing that, when they start hearing the melody, that it loosens up something inside them where they feel more comfortable starting to sing?
Yeah, either they'll feel more comfortable starting to sing, or they'll just grasp a better concept of how melodies work in general and how to follow that with your ears. And so definitely it's a great skill to practice.
Very cool. And I wanted to know when students come to you that at some point a beginning student will be looking to buy a guitar, more advanced students will be looking to buy a new guitar. Do you offer guidance to your students about what guitar to buy?
Definitely, definitely. Which is a hard thing to do because, as musicians, a lot of people are biased towards a certain brand or a style they like.
Right.
But I really do try to work with them and find what's going to make them happy, what's going to help them reach what they want to sound like, in a sense.
So in the same way that you would tailor the lessons to a person's interest, you try to gauge both who they are, what they like to play,
Right.
and also kind of physicality, like might you recommend a little bit smaller body guitar to someone who's a little smaller, that type of thing?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend a jumbo guitar to most people. But
Yes, yes, and those take doing even if you've been playing a while.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, this has been great, David. It's so much fun to learn about your teaching, and I want to wish you best of luck in your guitar teaching and in your musical career and in everything you're doing. You mentioned that you graduated from school and that you've set up the studio. Are you planning to stay in the Lynchburg area for a while?
Yeah, me and my wife, we just decided that's going to be our plan. We're going to pursue this full time, and it's brought a lot of cool adventures. I've made a website which I've never done before, which was pretty fun, and business cards and flyers. So it's definitely exciting.
And is that how you advertise, by posting flyers around Lynchburg?
Yeah, flyers or business cards or going to schools, those kind of things.
Excellent. Well, once again, want to wish you best of luck, David. And it's been great to talk with you tonight. And good luck in your career there in Lynchburg. And want to wish you all success in your music. And we look forward to seeing you very soon on FindaGuitarTeacher.com.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, David. Have a good night. Take care.
Okay, you too.
Bye bye.